devil on my shoulder. I can't find no forgiveness for my wrongs. There's a ghost inside of me that's growing stronger. No way home when you've been lost this long. Ain't no rest for the wicked, ain't no grace for the sinner. God knows I tried.
Welcome everyone, this is Caton here, and in today's golf vlog I'm playing the front nine at Lionhead Golf Course Masters Course in Brampton, Ontario. Today I'm playing from the blues, which is playing about 3,200 yards. Thank you to John and Kaneff Golf for having us out there today. The course is in phenomenal shape and it was a very fun round. And thank you to our newest subscriber, Ryan Bombard. Welcome to the channel, brother, and if you haven't already, please smash that like button. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. And let's get into it. First shot here, par 5, and I unfortunately hook it, which is unlike me for my 3-wood, and I had to drop a ball, so now we are lying 2, shooting for 3, and I use my 6-iron to try to get it up near the 150 mark, depending on how I hit it out of that rough, and we make a good shot, so only 100 yards away from the pin here. Aiming over the left side of that tree, and I end up blocking it a bit to the right, and which allowed for my fade to also come into play, and thankfully we ended up making it on the green though. Quite a long putt here for par, and we make a decent putt. I'm always nervous with long putts at the beginning of a round because you're not too used to the greens yet, but that was a nice bogey to get away from there. 356 using my 4-iron, just aiming up the left-hand side of that fairway and let my fade bring me perfectly into the middle of the fairway. So now heading down to the second shot, 170 yards in using my 7-iron. And I make good contact, but I ended up fading it a little bit too much, and it ended up coming up a bit short and right. So we ended up in just the edge of this bunker here. Not too sure how my ball is going to come out of this thing. And thankfully, it came out pretty clean. The bunkers had some decent sand in it there, so came out. Now we have a putt for par. And we come up a bit short. Didn't give it enough and slightly misread it. So we ended up coming away with a bogey. So 2 plus 2 after 2. Third hole here, 138 yards using my pitching wedge. And I kind of do the same shot as last hole. I faded it a little too much and came up just slightly short. So now we have a putt here just off of the fringe. And we make a decent little lag putt here. So a stress-free par. Off to the next. That was a gimme, obviously. Fourth hole here, 393 yards. I'm just trying to play my 4-iron to the left of those bunkers that you can see on the map. And I end up chunking this one a bit, so I ended up coming up much shorter than I was anticipating. So I left myself for a pretty long approach shot here into the green. And the green is just down the hill to the right, kind of near where that big tree is. And I make a nice shot, connected well, but my ball didn't come back as much as I was hoping. So we're on the left edge of the green, thankfully still in play, or I guess fringe, I should say. And a pretty large putt here again, hefty putt uphill, left to right. And usually I underread these, so I try to overread this one a bit, and it actually ended up being the right, or the wrong read, I should say. And now we have about a 5-footer for par, and we thankfully drained that. So we are off to the 5th hole, plus 2, 409 yards, very tight hole here. I guess it was a bit intimidating. I ended up not hitting it where I wanted and ended up coming out right, but thankfully we were able to find it. It was just in the fescue, and my ball's sitting really weird here. There's like not much ball to hit, as you can see. And we just have to erase that one from the memory and hope that our next shot is something better. 181 yards in here, and I end up pulling it, unfortunately, to the left of the green, just over a little mound as well. So now we have a little chip here for par, 54 degree, and this one ended up running out, or it came off hot, so I ended up chipping it to the back of the green. And so now we have a decent sized putt here for bogey. And I kind of hit it a little too hard, so a bit of work left here for double. But thankfully we drain it, and so we leave this hole at plus 2. So we're at +4. Par 5 here, dogleg left, 520 yards, and I just mishit this one. I pulled the heck out of it and ended up losing it. So I had to take a drop shot up where my ball entered the woods, and now 230 yards or so to the green. And my ball, I hit this really well. I pulled it a little bit, but it ended up catching just a branch there. So I'm pretty far out now from the hole, 334 yards. I think that's supposed to say 234. And now I use my 6-iron. And we put it in proper position, 103 yards out, using my pitching wedge. And I end up hitting this ball, if I remember correctly, very well, but just slightly short. So I got to practice my wedge game a bit. So I'm just off the green at the top of this little mound here. A big left to right, probably about a 20-foot putt, if not slightly more. So downhill a little bit too. And I read this one great. Oh! Even a blind squirrel finds a nut. So we thankfully we mitigate our losses there. +5 after 7, or after 6 is the 7th hole here, 369 yards. And there is a pond up to the right, a little bit longer than where I just hit this ball. So thankfully I play the right club here and not use my 3-wood. And this is a bit of a blind shot here with this, with the weeds in front of you here.
Hold it too.
I ended up pulling this one far left. The green is to the right of this one. And thankfully, my ball ended up being right on the cart path, or right beside the cart path. So I got to move my ball to a good spot and made a pretty decent little chip here. Not too disappointed with this. And now we have a par putt. And I just completely just didn't hit it enough and misread it. Been making this kind of putt, that miss a couple times this round. So something I got to practice is my putting. I think I say that every round. So par 3, 135 yards using my 9-iron. And there's a big hill at the back of the green here, a little divot tracer. And I make a fantastic shot. It ended up being about 15 to 10 feet up the hill, and it ended up spinning back down to be perfectly in line with the pin. And so now we have a birdie putt. And unfortunately, it didn't break as much as I was hoping, and we walk away with a par. Off to the 9th. Par 4, 400 yards, using my 3-wood. And I make my best strike of the day. This is a really, really nice drive for me. Perfectly straight. Anytime I put my tee shot into play, I'm extremely happy because I think that's one of my worst parts of my game. So 169 yards in, using my 7-iron. I'm actually just aiming for the pin and letting my fade take it slightly to the right for just a conservative play here. And did it exactly how I wanted to. It ended up being perfect. And so now we have a birdie putt, probably about 15 to 18 feet. Downhill slightly, and just miss it. And we just have a little tap in here for par. And so we finished the round at +6. Thanks guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below which course you want me to play next. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And we'll see you guys in one of the next vids.